Hi, in this video I'm sharing my stargazing guide for November and early December in the Northern Hemisphere. Because I'm living in a city where I have not much time to visit places with dark skies, I've made this guide to be suitable for watching the night sky in the urban. You will be able to see more if you can view from a spot with minimal lights. If, like me, you are interested in learning about objects in the night sky, this brief guide will help you to easily find some interesting ones in November and early December. The objects we are going to find in the northern sky are the Big Dipper, Polaris, the Little Dipper, and the Cassiopeia. If we watched my October video, you will note that the objects in the northern sky are the same, but they have rotated slightly counterclockwise around Polaris. In the eastern sky, we are going to find Capella, Auriga, Pleiades, also known as the Seven Sisters, and Aldebaran, also known as the Follower. In the western sky, we are going to see the Summer Triangle and the constellation Cygnus, the Swan, which contains the asterism Northern Cross. I'm skipping southern sky because there is not much I can talk about in that direction from my position under the city light pollution in November. This guide shows approximate position of objects in the night sky between 9 and 10 p.m. around 50 degrees north of equator. You should also be able to use it before or after this time. You only need to know that the objects in the night sky will be shifted compared to the illustrations used in this guide. I have generated the illustrations in this guide using Stellarium Web. To me, Stellarium is a very helpful and accessible app for stargazing. It is available on the web through this address. I'm using red font color so that if we use this guide outdoors, it does not impair your ability to see. Before we proceed, I would like to share with you what works for me when I'm trying to find an object in the night sky. First, I need to pick a starting point and then identify other things relative to that point. Once I have picked the starting point, I draw patterns relative to that point to identify other objects. The patterns do not have to follow the conventional constellations. I will use this simple approach in this guide. So, let us begin with the northern sky. Facing north, above distant tree tops, you should be able to see 3 stars arranged in this order. Connect them from the lowest star towards right, like this and this. Continue to a fainter star like this. That completes the handle of the Big Dipper. Continue to draw the scoop of the Dipper by connecting to the star to the lower right, like this, then upper right, upper left, and finally down left. That completes the Big Dipper. We can now proceed to find the Little Dipper. To find the Little Dipper, extend the line at the end of Big Dipper in the up left direction until it hits the next bright star like this. This bright star is Polaris. It is the star at the north celestial pole, a star that appears to remain in the same position all night as other stars rotate counterclockwise around it. To the left of Polaris are some faint stars that make the Little Dipper. Try to trace them like this. 1, 2, 3, then complete by drawing the scoop like this. From here, let's find Cassiopeia. Draw a line straight up like this until it hits a bright star which is almost overhead. If you got it right, the star you have just hit is the middle star in the Cassiopeia constellation. You can now complete the Cassiopeia constellation by connecting the visible stars around like this. Now we turn to the eastern sky. Facing east, look up and slightly to the left. You should be able to see a star that stands out from the rest. That is Capella. Now we need to draw some patterns to confirm that we are looking at Capella. Remember that Cassiopeia constellation is almost overhead in November around 9 to 10 p.m. So if you are facing east and look overhead, you will see Cassiopeia looking like this. Now you can drop a line from this star in Cassiopeia constellation down to Capella like this. This area of the sky has many bright stars that you can connect some with lines to form different patterns. Here are some of the patterns you can draw to identify them. And here are the names of some of the stars we have just connected. If you look straight to the right of Capella, you might be able to see a fuzzy patch of light that you can connect with lines from Capella and Mefak like this. This patch of light is Pleiades, also known as the Seven Sisters. You can play around with different shapes to help you identify the stars in this region. One interesting shape to draw in this area is a big W like this to form a beautiful pair of W's with Cassiopeia. To connect the major stars in constellation Auriga, begin from Capella and try to trace a shape like this. This is part of constellation Auriga, and here are some of the names of the stars we have just connected. By now, you should have seen a bright star to the right of Auriga, which you can connect with a line like this. This star is Aldebaran, the brightest star in constellation Taurus. Aldebaran is also known as the follower because it rises after Pleiades, the Seven Sisters. Finally, we move to the western sky. Facing west, try to pick two bright stars, one slightly down left and another up to the right, that you can connect with a line like this. The one on the left is Altair and the other is Vega. From here, if you look up, you will see another bright star that you can connect with the first two to form a triangle like this. This is the summer triangle asterism. The star at the top is Deneb, the farthest star you can see with an unaided eye, even in the light-polluted city sky. Now from the top of the summer triangle, try to trace three stars down like this. From this star here, try to connect other stars to the left and right to form this shape. If you have done it right, you have just drawn the constellation Cygnus, the swan flying in downward direction. If you shade off other lines like this, you remain with a cross-like shape that is also known as the Northern Cross. Now, because Cassiopeia is almost overhead, we can trace it while facing west as well. Just draw a line from Deneb upwards until you hit a bright star overhead like this. If you got it right, you can try to complete the shape of Cassiopeia like this, and proceed from the middle of Cassiopeia to the right to find Little Dipper and Big Dipper like this. Little Dipper and further right, Big Dipper. So what have we seen in this video? In the northern sky, we have seen the Big Dipper, Polaris, the Little Dipper, and Cassiopeia. In the eastern sky, we have seen Capella, Auriga, Pleiades, also known as the Seven Sisters, and Aldebaran, also known as the follower. In the western sky, we have seen the Summer Triangle, the constellation Cygnus, and the asterism Northern Cross. This is the end of our November brief tour of the night sky in the Northern Hemisphere. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.